think the best time to shop for a car is when you've really done your homework, when you really have analyzed the marketplace and analyzed your driving habits. Let's be honest, is a car sitting in the driveway most of the time? You're not really putting a lot of miles on it? Maybe an electrified car is best for you. Or you're a road warrior, you're doing 35,000 miles a year. A clean diesel vehicle might be best. So the best time to buy a new car is when you really know what kind of vehicle you need, you get your personal finances in order, and you go in as an educated and smart consumer. I think we're in a very interesting period in car buying right now, because not only you've got the transition from the 2013 model year into the 14, so there could be some great deals on the outgoing model, but you've also got a lot of pent-up demand from consumers that have been holding onto their current car for longer than maybe they expected. And that's because they were concerned about their personal finances. But maybe that transmission's starting to make that funny noise again, or time for new brakes or new tires, and you don't really want to spend on the old car. That then puts a lot of demand back in the new car marketplace. At the same time, the car makers, who are very aware of this, are bringing out some great technology, some great products that are showing great durability and reliability. So you've got, great cars, great supply as soon as the demand starts really coming on. So again, it becomes a great time to be back in the marketplace and really take advantage of some of this stuff. Now, Lynette, I know something that does concern people when they talk about getting back in the new car market is a down payment. Do you have any suggestions on that?
That's right. I think a lot of people are, of course, worried about the down payment because that's the biggest obstacle typically to getting that car that you might want. It's a big ticket purchase. A lot of people don't know, though, that they can actually use a credit card reward to help them to amass savings for a new vehicle. In fact, Capital One did a survey and they found that only about 5% of consumers are even aware that there is such a thing as an automotive rewards card, but there are plenty of them out there. I like a great new one that's out in the market. It's called the GM card from Capital One, and it actually lets you earn savings for a down payment. Here's how it works. You essentially just go about your normal everyday spending. Maybe you're buying, groceries with your credit card, or you're buying, gas to fill up your tank, or traveling. Maybe you're buying clothes at the mall, whatever. At the end of a year, though, whatever you spend is calculated, and you get a certain percentage of that back that you can apply towards a new GM car. And it's great because the earnings that you accrue have no limit on them, and there's no expiration on the amount of the or the timing for the rewards that you can amass.
So I don't have to buy a car next year or the year after. I can hold on for some time.
That's right. End of the year, a lot of people are thinking, maybe I should get a 2014, but maybe I'm not quite ready.
Sure.
Well, with this card, you don't have to worry about if you're not quite ready in 2014. You might get a car 3 years down the road, 5 years down the road. Again, it's not going to expire. So you just think about it this way from a pure math standpoint. A simple example. If your family is spending, say, $15,000 on your credit card in the course of a year's time, if you had this GM card from Capital One, you would accrue about $450 in earnings that you can use for the down payment on a new car.
Okay.
So I like it because just do the math. Multiply it times 2. If you do it for 2 years, there's $900. Times 3, there's $1,350. The average person may be putting about a $3,000 or so down payment. You've knocked out almost half of your down payment there. So it's a great way to save, and you're leveraging your spending, the stuff that you are already going to do anyway.
Right.
I'm not saying go out there and charge extra stuff because you don't want to rack up unnecessary debt, but just the normal charges you were already going to make, you're being rewarded for your customer loyalty.
So here's a great way to take a chunk out of that down payment and use it on a vehicle that's going to save you money over time. And I think of the new 2014 Chevrolet Malibu that has something called start-stop technology, which is industry first in the midsize class of vehicle. And what this does is allows the engine to come to a complete stop, turn itself off when you come to a stoplight. Now I know what you're thinking, well, do the headlights stay on? Do the windshield wipers keep going? Yes, there's a small battery in the back in the trunk area that allows all those things to carry on, but then when you take your foot off the brake, the engine seamlessly kicks back on and away you go. And what's really neat about that is it makes every other car on the road feel very, very old as soon as you drive a car with this technology, because you're sitting at the stoplight and you're doing it with money in your pocket, nice and quiet. Everybody else burning fuel,
Still
making emissions, idling. It just seems very old-fashioned very fast. So here's some great ways to actually see that getting back into the new car market might be the best thing for your pocketbook.
And actually, one other thing we should mention when you talk about innovation and technology and upgrades is fuel efficiency.
Oh, yes.
We didn't talk about the way in which today's cars are so much more fuel efficient than
right.
older models. You mentioned that the average car on the road is about 11, almost 11 and a half years old. Well, those cars aren't getting anywhere near the fuel efficiency of today's model. So that's another money saving way for people to be able to put more money back in their pocket if they are in fact buying a new car.
So yes, right now is a great time to be back in the new car market. I think this is a really interesting time to buy a new car because you've just got a lot of technologies that are going to be bringing things that consumers haven't seen to the dealership. The average car on the road today is over 11 years old. There's a good chance you're in a situation where you might be needing to put some new tires and new brakes on the old car. Maybe you're concerned about that noise the engine's making again. If you go into the new car market, yeah, it's going to cost you a little bit up front to get that car and have that monthly payment again, but having the warranty, having new fuel efficiency technologies in play, just having that peace of mind and comfort can really bring a lot of value. Considering a new car today might seem a little funny. Now, you're spending additional money coming up with the down payment, but it can really save you a lot of money over time. I think of the new Chevrolet Malibu with stop-start technology. What this does is allows the engine to turn off when you're sitting at a stoplight or maybe creeping through a parking lot at the mall or after the big football game. And by doing that, you really feel like you're really jumping ahead of everybody else. The engine's off, you're not burning fuel, you're not creating emissions, you're saving money. That could be a big bump in your pocketbook when you compare that to how your current car is spending fuel and money.